right now.
Sarah's not here now. Natalia, odds or evens?
Odds.
Odds. Okay, so David. What makes a good friend?
What do you mean, what makes a good friend?
Like, what do you think makes a good friend?
Love.
Love. Hey, that is a fantastic answer, David. Oh, that was a great answer. Matthew, what do you think? You're number 3.
I tripped.
Matthew, you here, bud? What makes a good friend?
Being nice.
Being nice. I love that one too. Good job. Miss Cardoso, you're number 5. What makes a good friend?
When your friend is like feeling sad and you buy them like their favorite snacks.
All right, I love that too. All right, Jalen, what makes a good friend? You're number 7.
Kindness.
Kindness. That's a great one too. I love that. And then Jonathan, what makes a good friend?
Being kind to each other.
Being kind to one another. And then
It would be a collection tower.
a collection. Can you tell me about a collection tower?
Like every single student and teacher gets a room, and all of the collections of stuffed animals or toys they collected, they could organize it there.
That is so cool. So it's a place that you can go and you can organize your collection of stuff and different classrooms can see it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Estrella, that is a great answer. Okay, before we move on, I just want to ask you guys, is there anyone that wants to add, if you could build any building in Lane, what would it be? Before we go, anyone want to add anything else?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
A carnival.
A carnival. You know what? I missed a carnival. And you know what's so awesome? We have a carnival out here too. You guys saw all the stuff outside. Later on today, guys, we can check that out too. But we also have carnivals. Guys, I miss having the carnival every year at Lane, and that is a great point. For this first game, you guys can join any team you want. So just go ahead and step on either platform you want, and then we'll probably mix it up after that. All right, so I'm going to teleport everyone on me, and then you guys can choose what team you want. But here's the deal. If you choose blue team or red team, you have to stay on that side, okay? You have to stay on that side. That means that you can't cross the line whenever the game starts, okay?
Yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah, we can't do that. I know some of you guys love to do that. All right, guys, go ahead, everybody. Let's have everyone step on the red or blue platform. Go ahead. We got Estrella, Jalen, Nathan. Come over here, guys. And then... Yep, we're right over here. And then Matthew, and I think that's it. Okay, so we just got Nathan and Matthew now. And I can also sign you guys if you're not here. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to do Matthew. We're going to assign you to the red team. And Nathan, we're going to assign you to the blue team.
Do you think the bear will protect me?
I hope so.
Just get in my way.
So are you guys ready?
I'll use it as cushion.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay. So I'm going to start the game right now. We're going to do 90 seconds and then we're going to party right now. All right, it's going to get going.
What?
Oh, no. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm going to be commentating this time because I actually didn't go to the platform myself. Oh, no. Okay,
Hold on.
I'm going to commentate for my side. All right, who's winning right now? Let's see. We got 13 versus 4. So blue team is up. The red team, you got to come back.
There's balls flying out in the hallway. I
know. We got to do it right now. Red team, let's go. Oh. Let's see. It's 14-8. Okay, it's coming back. Okay, dodgeball. A red team, you got 9 points now. 17.
What we're going to do is first we're going to do a recap of what we did yesterday. So I think most of us were here yesterday. We were doing the volcano experiment, but I recorded it again so you guys remember what we used with the ingredients. Pay attention to the video because in the video you're going to have the answers to the questions on the quizzes.
Hello students, so today we're going to do a erupting volcano experiment
We've been learning about volcanoes all week, and yesterday we actually conducted a live experiment, but just want to recap again with you guys. The reason why volcanoes erupt is because the magma inside of its chamber becomes too hot, the temperatures become too hot that it finally reaches the surfaces, and as we learned, it either comes out through the side vents or it comes out through its central vent. So I'm going to list the ingredients next of what we need. Our first ingredient will be baking soda. We are going to use half a tablespoon of baking soda. Our second ingredient is vinegar. We are going to use 1/4 of a cup of vinegar. And lastly, we are going to be using 1/2 tablespoon of clear dishwasher. All right, so before we begin, I already have my lab coat, I have gloves, and I have my safety goggles. Remember, we do not conduct experiments without an adult supervisor being around. So make sure you guys have your parents or a guardian around if you choose to try this experiment. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to do our 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda. In an empty cup, we're going to go ahead and add 1/4 of vinegar. Going to add 1/2 tablespoon of clear dishwasher. And we're going to mix that gently. And now we're going to pour this inside of our volcano. Let's see what happens. Look at that eruption. Awesome. That was really great. All right, so again, we used a 1/4 cup of vinegar, 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 tablespoon of soap. Remember those ingredients. Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Maribel, for sharing that video. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Roblox. So you should all back in the screen of Roblox. And Jet and Caesar were able to do something really cool. So I know it's been kind of tough on us not being able to do the experiments in person with you guys. And it's been a lot of Mrs. Hernandez and our staff doing the experiments virtually. So what Jet and Caesar were able to do was create a volcano experiment inside our lab so that we can all do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and grab the materials that you need for this experiment. And then you are going to take over one of the volcanoes at each station. There should be one for each one.
It says volcano. Add green ingredients.
Yeah, what ingredients did we use? You got to add those. So you're going to go pick up the ingredients, but you're going to make sure that once you pick it up, you leave it, because then it doesn't let you do it. So
yeah,
pick it up and then drop
add
it.
ingredients.
What is that, girl? Yeah, so grab the ingredients and then it should pop up on your little dashboard and then leave them, if that makes sense.
And your ingredient cannot be in your hand. So like right now, if anyone can see my avatar, I have the baking soda in my hand and it's not going to let me do the experiment while it's in my hand. I have to take it off my hand. And then you'll walk up to one of the volcanoes.
Yeah, so Donovan's got it going. Good job, Donovan.
Okay, Donovan, so you see that your volcano's going. So what do we need to do for safety? What would you grab if we were in a real lab?
Say that again?
If we were in a real lab, what would you grab if we saw a fire? What would you grab?
A lab coat and protection goggles or safety
Okay. And what about in a classroom that you would spray down? Like if we were going to spray down a fire, what do we grab?
So you put it on your wall. It's like kind of like a wallpaper, I think.
Okay. So if Donovan, you see my character? Okay. Do you know what that's called? In my hand?
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah. So you're going to go grab one of those to put out your volcano.
So they had like a vote or something like that, what to do with the cafeteria. And then Donovan had the idea of like calling us in, and then we did like this sort of like Shark Tank type thing where he kind of did a proposal and walked us through the construction project of what he wanted to do, you know, in the cafeteria. So I think, oh, he also drew out the layout too of how it would be.
Okay. So last thing, Mrs. Fernandez, do we want to take them? I'm going to go somewhere or actually Donovan, how about you lead us to the cafeteria?
Yeah. It logged me out from the Roblox.
Okay, log back in, bud.
Go ahead, Donovan. You can go first.
Oh my god.
Where is it?
No way. This is sick.
Is this how you envisioned it?
Not like this, but it's even better. Wow. Even added the movie.
Are we in the cafeteria?
I thought the snacks would be like in a straight row.
Are we in the cafeteria?
And it would have food like how we had the other ones.
Yeah.
Wow, sick.
It's awesome, isn't it? They literally incorporate literally the image you had on your PowerPoint. That's on here.
So Jen Caesar told me it doesn't look much like a cafeteria anymore, which is it's true. So we can vote if we want to keep it the cafeteria or if we want to give it another name.
No, it was, I mean, you guys did an amazing job. It just, I mean, I just stuck around long enough to hear his like brain just explode, like just seeing his work, like in action, like you guys just made his week. So nice work.
So I'm excited because this is the testimonial piece. We get to talk to the site level staff who just facilitated or run the program. So Ryan Cosmore.
Hey guys.
You guys remember him. He's the guy that has the endless amount of enthusiasm. Man, I swear, when I jumped on that, I could feel it. I could feel the energy.
You know what? And it's fun. And I think I hope that like we all riff off each other like that. I heard, was there kind of a dirty connection with my connection, or can you guys see it okay when we were in there?
So it was a little bit choppy. Okay. It was kind of choppy, but like thankfully we got to see her in the bar, so it was a little bit smoother, but okay. we got to see everything. So
all right,
so like I said, I loved your energy. I loved the participation of the kids. Can I ask you some questions? And then
sure.
So dude, real quick, like going back to the site lead days and tutor days, like that positive chaos that was in there, like that gave me flashbacks. It also gave me a slight bit of anxiety, but I loved it. So how do you feel like, I mean, you've worked in person and now you've worked distance learning. So like, how has this platform or utilizing it helped student engagement? You feel like?
I think the best way to say it is that in all of our tools that we have in like Zoom or distance learning, this has become the biggest tool. And I always say this, if we're building a house right now, these are the floorboards. This is the foundation that we build everything else on. And it's really amazing what happens, because in a virtual environment, you know, there's so much more you can do than just like a Zoom, like the windows, because you know, they can do all kinds of stuff, like in terms of youth voice and leadership. You know, we talked about, just like Hernan Barceló said, you know, we voted on our theme and the kids are the ones that determine that. and then just from the very beginning when we started this program to now, you can see the difference in even just the confidence and how they're growing. And, they have their avatars where they can dress up, whether they want to wear a Cubs hat or like a dinosaur costume or any kind of stuff like that. There's kind of this awareness that you can see they're growing and they want to. And then, as, like you said, there's controlled chaos, and that's kind of how we run over here. And, we love it because the kids, they do throw in and they want to, and there's an energy that the kids, I feel like, okay, here, let's go. This semester, they requested more time in after school program than we had before. So we adjusted to that because they wanted to be here longer because of this.
So you're saying like you guys, your original like distance learning plan was to have a shorter day, but they asked to make it longer because of some of the things you guys are doing.
Yep.
That's cool, dude. Hey, I'm sure everyone has got it now that I have a list of questions that I'm asking everybody. It's predetermined. This next question is not. So I'm just like, we're vibing. So like, I want to know what you're like I said, I can feel your energy and enthusiasm and passion. So from a dude that like loves passion, like what is your favorite thing about this?
So honestly, this is my favorite. So when I come to work, or like, I look forward to this every day because in the mornings I work at the school too, and walking around the playgrounds and the classrooms and seeing them empty and, it's silent. I can't, it's hard. And just to hear the kids laugh and to come in and then to hear their enthusiasm and to hear, and it's funny, it's not even the kids, the tutors too. I feel like a lot of times, just like the kids and the tutors, and this is one of my favorite things too, they've grown quite a bit too. And a lot of times you have tutors in your classes that they're kind of afraid a lot, or they're gaining confidence. And this does the same thing because they're having fun with the kids, and then the energy, like I said, it comes up. But every day when we come in, the kids, you see their smiling faces, and then we can learn a little bit about them. And we can all grow together. But playing the games, sometimes we get really into it, gets super competitive, but that's the fun part. And and like I said, we're like, all right, guys, it's this time. You got to go. I'm sorry, but you're gonna be here tomorrow. But I love that, and I love coming in every day. I can't believe this is something that, with the crazy year that we've had, we've really putting our minds together as a team. We've really done something special. So yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Cosmore. Again, thank you for allowing us to visit. And I mean, there's some vulnerability to sharing like a program like this. So
yeah,
for the whole Lane team, thank you guys.
So
Paula Martinez, Hernan Barstow. Hi, Paula.
Hi.
So I'm gonna spotlight you. I did not spotlight Mr. Cosmore, my bad. Paula, hi. So
Hi.
Thank you for allowing us to witness a science experiment.
Of course, that was awesome.
That was really cool. And although there were like small little setbacks, that's gonna happen at program too. Like kids are gonna get confused and stuff. And I feel like kudos to your tutors for handling that, because I would imagine over a virtual platform like that, it's like, are they getting it? So kudos to you. So do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. This isn't on the script, but is the program easy to use? Because it seems like you need to know what you're doing.
So we actually started Roblox the first day before we went to winter break. That was the first time we showed the students. The goal was, let's show them this right before we go on break, so they'll come back in January. Because we were afraid they're just not going to show back up. And so they were excited. They're like, can we play over winter break? And I told them, unfortunately, like we can't, because I can't log in. So they were super excited. And then come January, the students like jumped on, and our numbers have doubled. We were seeing about 4 or 5 kids a day. We're seeing about 8 to 10 now a day, which is huge for our program and our energy, because it's fun to teach more students. My staff, all 3 of us that are here right now, we've never played Roblox. We are not gamers. We had no idea what we were doing. And that was my first initial meeting with Caesar and Jet. I was like, I have no idea how to do this, but I want this for my kids. So I need you to teach me how to do this. And we need to be able to do it without calling you every 5 minutes, which not every 5 minutes, but maybe every 20 minutes we call them. But they're great at responding. But it's so easy. Like I feel confident now. And we have a student, I don't know if you guys saw Donovan. He had designed that cafeteria. We had the students do proposals and then they voted on what idea they thought was best. And his won. Most of the students voted for his. And from that, he was able to design that cafeteria. So one thing is that Donovan is one of our 6th graders, and he's been able to teach me things in the game. He comes down and he'll teach the younger students like how to do a certain tips and tricks in the game. So it is very easy to use, and our students are the teachers for us right now, which is even better to me because I'd rather learn from them.
Yeah, I felt like there were a couple kids teaching you some things. So
always, every day.
And that's not surprising with this generation of kids. So Paula, I'm going to ask you an intense question. Okay. So you can easily say, Josh, I'm not answering that. So question is, there's actually quite a few people on this call right now who were advocates and loud voices in the passing of Senator Bill 98 and 804. A lot of, like with that passing, there was a lot of flexibility that was allotted to programs, specifically around scheduling, attendance, even like fiscally, with the extension funds. How did you see, like, how did your program utilize some of that flexibility?
So for our program, right now, my staff have not set foot on campus this year. We have been working through Zoom. So that gave us that flexibility as well as that opportunity for my staff to feel confident working from home and using Zoom. And so that was our goal, was let's figure out how to find materials that aren't physical to give to the students, but they're still going to be engaged. They're going to be excited. So that has given us the opportunity to be a little bit more flexible. With attendance being waived, my main thing was like, okay, I can focus on the students. Like whoever's showing up, I can make these lessons centered around what they want versus the stress of a site lead. Oh, I'm not reaching my numbers. Like, I don't know. I should have a t-shirt that says I'm not reaching my numbers, because that would just, that like is the epitome of being a site lead. You just want to make sure you have enough kids coming. And with this, we love the game and we love what it's doing for our kids and the program, that we can focus on the kids and the program versus me focusing on numbers. And the numbers are growing because we're focused on what you should be focused on, and is the students having fun. And I hope that answered what you wanted. But
yeah, I appreciate you answering, because like I said, you could have said, no, Josh, too much. So Katie Collins, Katie Collins, you are a multi-site manager within the Fresh Consortium. You actually help support Central Unified's expanded learning program. So you've seen this over multiple programs. So in your opinion, like how has this helped ensure program quality?
Oh man, it has helped program quality in just so many different ways. The students in Central haven't been back on campus since March 17th when we got those orders. And with on campus, they're able to replicate that feeling of being on campus. We didn't get to see it with Hernan Barstow, but if you ever saw the campus of the school, they have two big bells outside of it. That is there in the Roblox game for the students. So they get that feeling, that essence, like, hey, we're back on campus. And that right there automatically targets their engagement. And with being virtual, I'm sure a lot of you guys have visited programs and you've seen what it looks like for students. And 30 minutes of a program can be someone bringing their baby sister or their puppy, and they just want to talk about it the whole time. And your whole game plan for the day is gone. But with this, we're back to getting into our structure of program. We're able to have the cafeteria for snack. We have our academic, we have our enrichment, things that we were kind of struggling with prior to the integration of this game. It's helping us kind of go back to our roots and who we are when we were on campus. But for me, the biggest part is students are able to be themselves. It's really hard to speak up. And you kind of alluded to this earlier, Josh, when you're on camera and everybody's listening to what you have to say, it's nerve-wracking. But imagine, as a 10-year-old, everybody's looking at you and what are they saying about me? That's taken away. They're represented by an avatar that gets to create for them. And it's allowing them to be who they want to be, whether that's purple hair, which my avatar has purple hair because dreams, or if they have the backpack with the corgi in it, which I totally rock because I don't have corgi. But they're able to represent themselves however they want. And then you just hear their voice. It's not like all eyes are on you. You can be open, you can share dialogue. And like students like Donovan from Herndon Barstow, he's usually really shy. And prior to the launch of this program, I remember doing observations and I never heard from him. Now all I hear is from him. And to me, that SEL aspect is so important, that sense of belonging, and it's present.
It's my daughter Janae, and she came in here. No, turn on your iPad. She came in here and said, I want them to make one of these for Washington Elementary.
Yes, I want one. I want one. I want one. I want one.
Anyway, brilliant. And
I can't get my.
I love seeing, just the precision of, being human with the students, but yet very intentional about choice of words and language and techniques to guide them and move them along. It was really powerful. I really am inspired by what this means. Just the fact, like that whole thing of telling them you've done this in Roblox, like the last day before break, how torturous. Like I wouldn't have heard the end of it in our house, but yeah, then they came back ready to go, and they're asking for a longer day. Believe me, Janae's in 4th grade, and
I'm in 4th grade.
she's ready to get off as soon as she can, and she's got a beautiful teacher and a beautiful classroom, and
Yeah, right.
but it's not this. So kudos.
Ow. Oh, yeah.
And love to hear how you've used the flexibility too, and so glad. One of the things we thought about last spring was the last thing our site leads need is to feel more stress. The pandemic has stress of its own, the uncertainties, and we don't want people worried about whether they're going to lose their grant or worried about attendance. And to hear you say that you've used that in order to focus on the needs of the children, the students, and then that translated into something. Back in my program days in San Francisco, we operated by this philosophy all the time. If you focus on quality, student engagement, if you focus on those things, you're not going to have to worry about attendance, because you're going to have to worry about a waiting list. And anyway, I could go on, but I told somebody earlier, like coming on this site visit was like recess for me. So appreciate the invitation, appreciate what you're doing, and maybe we'll see some of you at the Site Coordinator Symposium next week.
Next week.
Good job.
Bye.
I want to hear from a very important person to kind of end this. Hank Gutierrez had mentioned Helena Silva as a pivotal person in not only supporting this innovation, but pushing this innovation. So Helena Silva, do you have any words of like how you feel like that this has impacted your 146 programs that you help oversee?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me? One AirPod just died.
Yes,
Am I
yes,
good?
we can hear you.
Okay. The limit's like an hour and a half for these things. I just want to, first of all, thank you, Josh, for putting this together. I really appreciate your work that you put into gathering us all here and organizing this. So thank you. Thank you to Paula, to Marcella, to Karina, to Ryan. You guys are awesome. It is so good to see you and see what you're doing with our students. It's really what I've noticed. It's during difficult times that people's true colors really shine. You really see, who people are when they're going through a tough time. And we've been in a tough time for almost a year now. And over and over again, I've seen nothing but positive vibes from everyone, and everyone coming in with an attitude of not why me, but try me, and figuring out how to get services to students. I've seen it over and over again with our expanded learning staff, my department staff, districts, teachers, all of our educational leaders, figuring out what do we need to do to keep kids connected. Today was a real great demonstration of another level of getting that connection to kids and kids with each other. So it's really uplifting. You know, I'm sure all of you guys are in a ton of Zoom meetings like I am, and it's a lot of problem solving and figuring things out. We need to take some time and get in something that is going to elevate our spirits. And this visit, you know, when I get to hear the kids, you know, I heard a lot of us say that today, it really elevates my spirit, and I hope it did the same for you. So the work that CD's done for our programs and what the advocacy that many groups are doing for extended learning, it is appreciated to, you know, from the parents and the students and the extended learning staff and all of us grantees. And what you're doing is allowing us to, you know, connect with the students and provide the best service to them. We have a wide range of program attendance with 146 sites. You know, sometimes we'll have one kid on in an afternoon, and some sites are seeing near 70 kids a day. Every single kid that is connecting with our extended learning staff is really getting something from our program. And I just, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the work that goes into putting on programs and getting us what we need to connect to students. So that's our bottom line. So thank you very, very much.